So in the words of Jesus Martinez, what the fuck just happened to Bitcoin? That's what we're going to be discussing in today's video, along with going through the news, the data, the technicals, and the macro, so you guys can be fully up to date with what on earth is going on, because things are looking a little bit treacherous, but I do have some information you're going to. Jumping straight into today's video, let's take a look at the chart, guys. We had this somewhat of a bear flag. We broke below it. We came up, we retested it. And if you were watching the channel, you would have been expecting exactly this move. Now, am I saying I called it perfectly? Absolutely not. It's just one of the scenarios that I spoke about. Remember, this is where stop losses, liquidation, emotional capitulation sits, along with this region right here. Stop losses, liquidation, emotional capitulation, all around here, right? So what I was saying to you was, if this plays out, we come down, we retest it, we come down, and we most likely come into the regions where these stop losses and these liquidations sit. Why do we come down there? Because it's basically the liquidity needed for the manipulators to make some cheese. This is the last time we looked at it. Let's refresh it and watch what happens over here. Bosh! Yep, so look at that. We now have $7.6 billion worth of shorts that have piled into the market since the last few hours, since we've just dipped down, and we have almost annihilated most. There's still 1.89 billion, but most of these longs. So right now, looking at this, I'm actually peering, which might sound absolutely mental to a lot of people, but I'm actually looking for a potential bounce here and grab a long position. Now, moving on to the news, right? I don't get why everyone's panicking about Bitcoin crashing. I just checked my wallet. I still have the same amount of Bitcoin I had yesterday. And this is very true, guys. And with the strategy that I'm talking about in the WAP, to break it down very simply, it's a ladder strategy that I get heavier and heavier and heavier as we go down. And then I save about 20% just in case we go significantly lower than that $30,000 region. And I'm laddering in. This will average my buy over this bear market if we come back to new all-time highs one day, which I wholeheartedly believe we will. It will average my entry at about 40,000, right? This is a similar strategy to what I did in the last bear market and the one before that, but it's much more technical and much more specific. And I think this is going to work even better. It's worked perfectly before, just DCAing in the bear market, but this strategy of getting heavier and heavier as we go down may work even better if we do get the best case scenario for a bear market right now, which is lower, significantly lower than we are right now. And that's the exciting thing that we get to look forward to, Bitcoin at a cheaper price. But it doesn't come with ease. That's what I want people to understand. If we get $30,000 Bitcoin, for example, it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. It's not going to be the excitement that people thought. At 125, they're like, if I could get Bitcoin at 30K, oh, I would sell the house, I would sell the car, I'd sell my wife, I'd sell my husband, I'd sell my dog, right? And then I'd buy Bitcoin. Absolutely not. It's going to feel horrible. You think that the fact that people are talking about Epstein being Satoshi or creating Bitcoin is bad, right? That's only pushed the price down a little bit. We're going to have significantly worse news. I don't know what it could be. I don't know where it's going to come from. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be significantly worse to get the price down there. If we don't get news like that, we won't get Bitcoin at 30,000, at 20,000, maybe even at 40,000. It's going to hover around where we are right now. So you have to be prepared, and prepare your gut, prepare your cash piles, and prepare your mental stability for something like that. Because trust me, it gets bad if we get there, but we need to try and reframe that. Now, according to Bull Theory here, Bitcoin has crashed 49% and wiped out 1.21 trillion from its market cap in 139 days. This is the first time in Bitcoin history we've seen such a big drop with zero relief. Something has changed in the market since October 10th liquidation event. Now, I would argue that this is actually just exactly the same as every other move that we've had. And this is something that I was arguing, right, when we were moving up and people were saying, okay, well, we're never going to get a bear market again. And if you watch channel, I hope you know that this is truthful. I'm not just making this up, but a lot of people were saying that we're never going to get a bear market again. Bitcoin can't drop because of the ETFs and the institutional investment and the president and all that. And I said it was nonsense, right? I believed that we were going to get exactly the same movements, the percentage movements. But again, guys, the caveat, I actually got blindsided again by the very obvious 4-year cycle, which was a mistake on my half, but that's fine. We grow, we learn, and all of that jazz. But right now, look, guys, we are, just to show you that I actually don't think this is different, right? We are 139 days into this crash. if this is the same time, 339 days into the crash, we were exactly here, 40,000, exactly where I was buying before we dropped another 50%. Bitcoin's price went from a high to a low of 52%. Bitcoin's price, high to a low, 52%. It's like, guys, drown out the noise. Drown out the, oh, something big broke in October 10th. It did. For sure, something big broke and we don't know what it is. We're not sure, right? But something big broke in 2021, 2022, something big broke in 2017, 2018. It's going to happen again. Something big's going to break and then something else is going to happen and then the price is going to go up. That's what I believe. But this time is not different. It's exactly the same. That's why the bear market strategy is to be buying heavier and heavier and heavier all the way down to the average drop. Remember, let's just say the same thing happens because so far the same thing has happened. 77% drop, high to low. Let's do a 77% drop. That gives us $28,000 Bitcoin. So if that happens, guys, what am I going to do? Heavier, 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 all the way down, save some dry powder in case we go into this region. And guys, if we just go to zero, that's the risk I'm willing to take. You can't do what I'm doing if you're not willing for it to go to zero. I like to say this when I'm talking to my friends and people in person. It's a 50-50 chance, right? It's not. I don't think there's a 50% chance that Bitcoin goes to zero, but that's how I position it in my mind. 50-50. 50% my money goes to zero, 50% I get a 20x. I like those odds. All right. So with that said, how are we feeling about the market? It's very interesting to see this. It seems to be, it's at least my followers, right? Very 50-50. 50% bullish, 50% bearish, all right? Michael Saylor is planning to buy Bitcoin again. Coinbase announced 3.5 Bitcoin rewards for holding USDC, better than just holding your money in a bank. We got Vitalik Buterin running through the rain, waiting to dump on his followers once again. $8 million worth of Ethereum being dumped. And we have Donald Trump at it again, raising tariffs, even though they're not allowed apparently, but he can just do what he wants seemingly from 10% to 15%. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.